History is filled with spies, soldiers, and diplomats. Their stories are often tales of intrigue and power. But one figure from the 18th century stands alone, a person whose entire life was the greatest mystery of all. This is the story of a decorated war hero and a master spy, who was celebrated as both a man and a woman. A person whose true identity became the subject of a nationwide betting scandal and a royal decree. This is the strange and brilliant life of Charles, the Chevalier d'Ayen. d'Ayen was born in Burgundy, France, in 1728, to a minor noble family. From a young age, it was clear that d'Ayen was exceptionally intelligent and ambitious. Graduating with a doctorate in law, d'Ayen quickly made a name for himself in Paris as a gifted writer. His talents caught the eye of the French court, and specifically, King Louis XV. The king had a secret network of spies and diplomats known as the Secret du Roi, the king's secret. d'Ayen, with his sharp mind and charismatic personality, was a perfect candidate. He was recruited as a spy. His first major mission was one of the most important in Europe, the imperial court of Russia. France needed an alliance with Empress Elizabeth, and d'Ayen was sent to help secure it. A legend later grew that d'Ayen first went to Russia disguised as a woman named Lia de Beaumont. This story claimed he used this disguise to get close to the Empress as a maid of honor. While likely untrue, this legend shows how early the questions about d'Ayen's identity began. In reality, d'Ayen served in Russia as a man, a secretary at the embassy. He was a brilliant success. He excelled at the world of diplomacy and espionage, helping to forge the crucial alliance with Russia. He returned to France a celebrated figure, his reputation as a skilled diplomat secured. But d'Ayen's ambitions were not limited to secret missions. He also wanted military glory. During the 7 Years' War, he joined the French army as a captain of dragoons. He fought with distinction and courage on the battlefield and was even wounded in combat. For his bravery, he was awarded the prestigious Order of St. Louis, earning him the title Chevalier. He was now the Chevalier d'Ayen, a war hero and a respected member of the French court. After the war, he was sent to London on his most important diplomatic mission yet. He helped to negotiate the peace treaty that ended the long and costly 7 Years' War. He was praised for his work, and was at the absolute peak of his career and influence. But d'Ayen had a difficult personality. He was proud, stubborn, and quick to anger. He had a bitter falling out with a new French ambassador who was sent to London. When ordered to return to France, the Chevalier refused. He essentially went into exile. But he held a powerful weapon. He was still in possession of the king's secret correspondence. He used these state secrets to blackmail King Louis XV for a generous pension. d'Ayen became a fixture of London society, a famous and controversial French exile. It was during this time that the rumors that had whispered around him for years exploded. People began to openly question his gender. His features were fine. His voice was high. Was the celebrated war hero, the Chevalier d'Ayen, secretly a woman? The question became a public obsession. It was the great scandal of the age. The London Stock Exchange opened a betting pool on d'Ayen's true sex. It was a massive sensation. People wagered huge sums of money. The Chevalier was followed and harassed in the streets. For years, d'Ayen refused to confirm or deny the rumors, adding to the public's fascination. His successor, King Louis XVI, wanted to end the scandal. Then, in 1774, King Louis XV died. He needed to get the state secrets back from d'Ayen and bring him back to France. He sent negotiators to London, including the famous playwright Beaumarchais. d'Ayen agreed to return the secret documents and end his exile. But he had one extraordinary condition. He demanded that the French government officially recognize him as being female. The Chevalier claimed that he had been born a girl, but had been raised as a boy by his father. He said this was done so that he could inherit the family estate, which could only pass to a male heir. It was a stunning claim, but King Louis XVI, desperate to end the affair, agreed. In 1777, the French government issued a royal decree. It officially ruled that the Chevalier d'Ayen was, and had always been, a woman. As part of the deal, d'Ayen was ordered to abandon his male dragoon uniform. He was to wear women's clothing, the dress of her sex, for the rest of his life. The Chevalier returned to France, no longer as a man, but as Mademoiselle d'Ayen. For the next 33 years, d'Ayen lived exclusively as a woman. The transition was not always easy. He struggled with the restrictive corsets and gowns of the era. When the French Revolution began in 1789, his world was turned upside down again. The revolution swept away the monarchy, and with it, d'Ayen's royal pension. He was left in poverty. He returned to London to try and make a living. He was still a major celebrity. He sold off his extensive library and other possessions to survive. To earn money, he began participating in public fencing exhibitions and tournaments. The sight of a woman in her 60s, dressed in a full gown, expertly wielding a sword, was a sensation. Audiences flocked to see the famous Mademoiselle d'Ayen display her swordsmanship. He lived out his final years in London with a female companion, his identity as a woman fully established. In 1810, at the age of 81, the Chevalier d'Ayen died, but even in death, the mystery was not over. In fact, the final definitive twist was yet to come. As doctors prepared the body for burial, they made a shocking discovery. They performed an examination to finally settle the question that had fascinated Europe for half a century, and the answer was undeniable. The famous spy, the decorated soldier, the woman known as Mademoiselle d'Ayen, was anatomically male. The doctors who examined him signed a certificate confirming the fact. The news was a sensation. It created more questions than it answered. Why had he lived as a woman for so long? Was his claim of being born female just a clever lie to negotiate a better deal with the king? Or was it something deeper? A genuine expression of his own sense of identity, far ahead of its time. Was he a brilliant opportunist, a master of manipulation, who played a role his whole life? Or was he a pioneer, one of the first openly transgender figures in modern history? The truth is, we will never know for sure what was in d'Ayen's heart and mind. He remains a complex and fascinating figure, a person who defied every convention of his era. He was a spy who guarded secrets, but his own identity was the greatest secret of all. His life was a masterful performance, played out on the grand stage of European history. The story of the Chevalier d'Ayen is a powerful reminder that identity can be complex and fluid, and that the most interesting people in history are often the ones who refuse to be easily defined.